What's up guys, I'm Akaza, and today we're going to try to survive 100 days in the Taiga biome. This was heaven in my eyes because I love spruce wood, so no need to search the world for spruce trees when that's the only tree here. Villagers are everywhere, so I had to make myself a money-making empire, and yeah, it got pretty interesting. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you're new around here, consider subscribing. Now, this is my journey in the Taiga biome. Here we go again, boys. When you join a new world, you have to do the essentials. Immediately I went on the search for a village, and while searching I found a broken portal and the chest was trash. While looking around, with the luck of the Herobrine himself, I noticed a village in the distance. It was getting pretty dark, but this didn't stop me from getting to this village. On day 2, I woke up bright and early to go around searching the village, and the locals were definitely curious. I found some iron armor just out in the open. Seeing this structure was new to me, I've never seen this before. I opened this chest and realized I had a golden apple in my inventory, and yeah, I had no idea where it came from. I finally was accepted by the locals, and I gave myself permission to move into this house, and now I'm one of them. On day 3, I started this day off by chopping down some trees. I didn't want to lose any of the villagers, so I made sure to trap them because they're going to be my livelihood, basically. As I was going around, I found some diamond horse armor. Just a heads up, I never seen any horses, so yeah. It was nighttime, but I went home knowing that the villagers were safe. On day 4, I went off to do some mining. I found some coal, but my pick broke, so I had to go back up. I knew I was going to need some materials to build my own compound, so I spent the day chopping more wood. On day 5, I wanted to go mining, but I needed to grab some water so I don't burn alive from lava. While going to grab some water, I ran into a huge cave. I grabbed the water and went back to the village to do some mining. On day 6, I instantly found some diamonds. I was genuinely surprised it was more than one. I was done messing around and I got back to mining. On day 7, I was still in the mine. I was all finished and headed back to the surface with a lot of loot. I threw my iron in the furnace and went outside to chill in the rain. On day 8, I woke up and seen a rainbow in the sky, and it was pretty cool. I went off exploring to try to find a place to build, but ran into a different village. There wasn't any good loot, so I borrowed some trapdoors. On day 9, I started to head back home. However, eventually I realized I had no idea where I was. But on day 10, I kept looking for my village, but I still couldn't find it. I accepted I was lost, so I went back on the recording and I found my coordinates of, when I was in the cave. Eventually I realized I wasn't too far away and I made it back home just in time. On day 11, I have no idea why I went looking around for a place to live again, like I literally just got back home. Eventually I went back, and I was trying my best not to have to terraform too much, but gave in, and I knew where I was going to live. On day 12, I spent the day clearing out trees. It helps because I'm clearing the area and getting wood I'll need for the future, so, I wasn't upset. After a long day of work, I realized I got a lot done, but still a lot more to go. On day 13, I started clearing out more trees, and I decided that should be enough for now and started laying out the foundations for my home. During the night, I went outside to see what was preventing me from sleeping, and, I witnessed this iron golem getting jumped. But, he held his own, and I was proud to have him in the village. On day 14, I spent the whole day working on the house. I took a step back and realized it's going to be pretty cool. On day 15, I started the day off by throwing some stone in the furnace to cook. While waiting for that, I decided it was time to do some farming. I made an infinite water source and finished my farms. This is a small start to a big business in the making. On day 16, I started to work on the walls of the house. I was all done with that and I just added the door in to finish it off. So far everything is going smoothly. On day 17 I had one job left, and that's putting the roof on the house. I spent the day gathering the materials I needed to get the job done. And so on day 18, at last it was time to work on this roof. I wasn't sure on the exact way I wanted to design the roof, but in the end I think I got something that's gonna look great. On day 19 I spent the day working on the roof. At last the house is basically done. Just had some finishing touches that needed to make the house complete. On day 20, so on this day I worked on the house and it was almost done. On day 21 I woke up and this iron golem was watching me sleep. It was kind of weird. I went back to work on the house until I was finally finished and did some slight detailing. After all this work on the house, I knew the farm was ready to harvest, so I spent the rest of the day farming. On day 22, I had some visitors at the new house. I started clearing up the dirt I was using for construction, and while I was at it, I went ahead and cleared out the floor. Once it was ready, I placed it in the floor design and it was looking pretty good. Before I closed off the ceiling, I needed to light it up so no bad boys appear inside. On day 23, I worked on the house a bit, and at last it was finally finished and it looked great. On day 24, I love the way the house looks on the outside, but I have to live on the inside and it's empty in there, so I went ahead and started working on the interior. On day 25, I spent the whole day finishing up the interior of the house. We got most of it done, but it just got to finish upstairs. On day 26, I got attacked and chased down by this baby zombie. I spent the rest of the day finishing the upstairs of the house. Gotta love that first night of sleep in the house, On day 27, I need to make some glass for the windows. I made an iron shovel and did some farming. I ran off to find some sand. I grabbed 2 stacks and ran back home. Once it was ready, I added the windows. And once again, another good night of sleep. On day 28, I seen a cat and I definitely needed him. I made a fishing rod and went fishing in my infinite water source, and I was surprised to see that this actually worked. However, now that I actually have some fish, the cat was nowhere to be found. I spent the day moving into the new house. I got distracted by this cat and it was a different one, but I wanted him. He was playing hard to get, but I ran home before I ended up dying, trying to get this cat. On day 29, I spent most of this day moving into the new house. And this is officially my new home. I hated seeing these holes, so I spent the rest of the day trying to fill them in. On day 30, I gathered more dirt and chopped more trees, just some basic excavation this day. Filled in all them ugly holes so I don't have to look at them anymore. Now the area was ready to expand. You thought I was done? On day 31, I spent this whole day building the pillars for the new wall to make this area safe. This is hardcore, I didn't have time to die. On day 32, I continued working on the wall, and after a long day of work, I finished the wall. I ran inside and made some fence for what's up next. On day 33, I woke up that morning and built some animal pens. Then I dug out the path for the base and I started placing the path, however I ran out of andesite. So I ran into the mine to grab some more, and soon I realized that it still wasn't enough. On day 34, I went back in the mine to get even more andesite. Now the path is officially finished. I planted some big trees because I'm running low on wood. Can't go wrong with some farming. I went home and realized that the cat was stuck in the compound, so this was my chance to tame him. He had nowhere to hide, so I tamed him, and his name is Chachamaru. I'll just say, if you know, you know. On day 35, I went on a mission to grab some chickens and brought them into the compound. Now time to get cows and sheep. Meanwhile, I found these weird blocks and these things got weird, so I had no idea what it was and I decided to move on. I think the wolves are killing all the sheep because I keep finding remains, but still haven't seen any cows either. I searched all day and yeah, nothing. On day 36, it's time to start trading. In my notes for this video, I started calling this the dungeon, and yeah, I have no idea why I was calling it that. All my big trees are now grown. That's what I like to see, boys. I definitely need a boat so I can move these guys around very easily. So on day 37, I trapped an armorer and a weaponsmith. After that, I went home to make other job blocks. Yeah, we're going all out for this. On day 38, I trapped 2 more villagers. These guys really don't want to be trapped. It's like they know what's about to happen. On day 39, I now had an army of villagers I needed to start this business. And I traded with the Fletchers to make sure I didn't lose these trades. On day 40, I hired all the guys I needed, and the trading dungeon is now finished and open for business. Later that night, I had some fun fighting some zombies. On day 41, I spent the day trying to get mending trades. It took forever, but I finally got it, so I did what's best and I locked the trade in. Also, I got a sharpness 5, and yeah, this comes handy later on. On day 42, I was tired of trading and gave the villagers a break, so it was time to expand the base. I spent the rest of the day chopping down trees, and yeah, it's a long day of work. On day 43, I started the crop farms and eventually finished them. Just now I need to plant all the crops. On day 44, I spent the day working on the wheat farm, and now that it's finished, I need to do the potatoes on the other side. So on day 45, I planted all the potatoes I needed, and the money-making farm is now complete. Oh boy, I'm gonna be rich. I went to check on the chickens. It's been a while, so they were looking hungry. On day 46, I woke up and made my villager dungeons safe, so they didn't die while I was gone. They might be in a dungeon, but I still care about them. I went back home and started my mine beside the house. I made the bunker that's going to hold my enchanting room, portal, and the mine itself. Now that it was ready, I ran back above ground to get ready to mine. On day 47, I spent this whole day mining. On day 48, I finally found 3 diamonds, but I didn't mine them just yet. I continued mining and eventually ran into a geode, which is, it's pretty cool. On day 49, now that we were back from mining, it was time to get rich. I made a ton of sticks to sell. I got 54 emeralds from just selling sticks. I got a sharpness 2 sword and now I feel way safer. I spent some emeralds to level up my armor, and yeah, I'll never run out of boots. Day 50, oof, already halfway done. I went mining again. I want more diamonds, and I found 3 more. I got tired of mining on this level, so I went to Y15 to focus on finding more iron. On day 51, yeah, I was still in the mine. I got tired of mining eventually, so I ran back up to the surface. Before that, I ran into some coal and I grabbed all of it. On day 52, now that I was back home, I went ahead and checked on the farms. That was a lot of crops, but money must be made. I was heading to the dungeon. I ran into the traveling merchant. He tried to scam me, so I took his leads from him. I traded with the farmer and I got 16 emeralds. You know what you do with 16 emeralds? You turn them into 12 stone axes. On day 53, I used those axes to cut down trees all day for, more money. Once I got that done, I went to the dungeon. I went to my Fletchers, and I was only able to trade half, but I got 32 emeralds. I went ahead and made some other trades, and yeah, your boy got a ton of chainmail pants. On day 54, I went back to the trade some more. Why craft a shield when you could just buy one instead? I love walking in the rain. I traded more sticks, and now I have 46 emeralds. Once again, I made some more trades, and now I can officially get enchanted diamond leggings and boots. On day 55, I wanted to make a pumpkin and sugarcane farm. I started laying out the framework, but as you can see, that went well. I chopped down trees the rest of that day. I used some shears to get the leaves, and yeah, you'll see why later. On day 56, I used the wood to make fence and finish the pumpkin farm. The pumpkin farm is all finished, but as you can see, the sugarcane farm is too, but you know, just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. On day 57, I was back on the farms. I seen some creepers and thought I could take them, but yeah, they blew everything up. I fixed the damage they costed my business and got back to work. And at last, I finished the farm and just needed to plant everything. On day 58, I grabbed sugarcane from the old farm and went back to work. I only had enough pumpkin seeds for one area, but I went right to planting the sugarcane. Both farms couldn't be complete, but I love them. You know, the base has come so far since living in that tiny hut in the village. I then went to go make more sticks to go trade in the dungeon. I got a pair of diamond pants and more stone pickaxes. Yeah, your boy's getting rich over here. On day 59, it was time to make my bone meal machine. Okay, cool, it works now, and I can just throw junk I don't need and get bone meal. I went to go use the bone meal on my pumpkins, and now I have stems growing soon, so I'll have pumpkins to sell. Once I stopped admiring my pumpkin farm, I went to go harvest the rest of my crops. This is what I call a successful day. On day 60, I woke up and went straight to the dungeon to trade. I got 60 emeralds. Whew. I love this game. I spent the rest of the night gathering wood. This guy wouldn't let me sleep, so I had no choice but to kill him. On day 61, I wanted to test something. Okay, cool, so it works. I could really throw a lot in here to make bone meal. So now I need to work on the compound. I spent the day digging out the paths. Once they were all cleared out, I grabbed everything I needed to start filling them in. On day 62, I got back to work on the paths. I ran out of gravel, so I ran down into the mine and grabbed all the gravel I was gonna need. Once I was all good on that, I went back to the surface and finished up the paths, and they look pretty cool. On day 63, I realized that when I breed the chickens, the babies just run underneath the slab, so I had to fix that issue. After that was all fixed up, I went to work on the farms again. I turned all the sugarcane I got into paper. I tried to get bookshelf trades, but nah, it wasn't happening. I finally got this Fletcher to a master level, and he should be proud. Eventually, I went back home and fed the chickens. On day 64, I was tired of seeing our animal pens empty, so I went on the hunt for cows and sheep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the sheep are dead because of these wolves everywhere. Cows! I finally found cows, so I took these guys home, and now I have a family. After all that, I went to the pumpkin farm, and it was finally finished. Today was a great day. On day 65, I woke up that morning and noticed an Enderman harassing the cows. I just brought them here, so I went ahead and killed them. With that, we got our first ender pearl. I noticed during the night that the compound was fairly dark, so I spent the day lighting up the compound. I hated looking at this random hole in the ground, so I began making the entrance to our bunker look better. On day 66, I worked on the entrance some more, but in reality, I was really just burning myself to death the whole time. This Enderman was in my house, and I accidentally hit Chachamaru. I made more campfires and finally finished the entrance. For the rest of the day, I used the bone meal to add patches of grass all over the compound, and it's really looking great. On day 67, I planned on making a campsite to chill outside, but it was thunderstorming. So I did what I do best, and make sticks to make money. I finally upgraded the toolsmith and got efficiency to pickaxe. All done here, time to go feed the animals. On day 68, I went farming. That was almost a whole day's work, but now that it's done, let's see how much money we can get paid. 27 emeralds, not too bad. And now that the librarian has leveled up, I can get silk touch from them, but I don't know if I'll ever need it. In honor of the annual celebration of day 69, I spent the whole day chopping trees to make money. My goal is to get my armor to offer full diamond armor trait. Imagine turning sticks into diamond armor. On day 70, I went to go trade sticks just like every other day these 100 days. Unfortunately, these guys partied too hard last night and weren't open for business today. So I went back home to feed the animals, gotta get them levels. I realized my iron supply was low, so I went on a mining mission for some iron. Okay, I know I'm on the right level. I just mined 200 blocks and not even one piece of iron. I was tired of mining for iron, so I went to my diamond mine and I grabbed the diamonds that I was saving. This is when my luck got way better because I instantly found an 8 vein of diamonds, and now I was really feeling lucky. What? More diamonds? What the hell? On day 71, yeah, I was still down here, and yeah, more diamonds. On day 72, after all that hard work, I was leaving the mine with 27 diamonds. Once I was back home, my first order in business was to make full diamond tools. Man, I can really use some bookshelves. I want enchantments for this stuff. On day 73, I went to check on the villagers to make sure they were doing okay. Now that my farmer was at the master level, I could trade golden carrots. Once I was done checking on my business, I went back home to make some books. On day 74, I went to trade the books I made. The animals need to be fed, so I went back home to feed the little guys. I need more sticks. You know the drill. I flipped those sticks for emeralds, and I was very close to getting master armor. On day 75, I noticed this tree was looking a little awkward, so I just went ahead and fixed it. Then I went to go grab some water, cook some food, and went to this lava pool I found and grabbed some obsidian. That took forever, but you know, we have enough to last us a while. I made a flint and steel, but I'm not ready just yet. On day 76, I went to cut the trees and trade more sticks. Once that was all done, I spent the rest of the day farming. I missed my animals, so I went to pay them a visit. After a whole day of prepping, this is what we got. On day 77, we worked a lot the day before, but now it's time to go make some money. I got almost 1.5 stacks of emeralds, so all that work was well worth it. Finally could trade for full diamond armor, boys. Feels good to be rich. We went to trade some more books. So let me just get this straight. I just traded with this guy, only to get luck of the C1? I need some bookshelves. On day 78, I got curious, so I made a gold helmet. I built another portal and took a little peek inside. I didn't die instantly, so that's good. If you watch my previous videos, you know I hate the nether. I noticed one of my favorite biomes in the distance. I couldn't find a way to go over there safely, so I went ahead and gathered a ton of crimson wood. Why not? This spawn is some shit. On day 79, so I looked it up, and yeah, you have to get bookshelf trades from the jump. I couldn't get it just from leveling the guy up. So with that being said, I need another librarian, so I went looking around the village. Oh my god, I found one. I was just gonna grab the pumpkins. Oh boy, he's thinking about his life. He's in. Oh, you'll do great things for this village. And I literally got what I want the first try. On day 80, it was time to make some money. I bone mealed the trees and got to cutting. I realized the sugarcane and pumpkins were ready, so I farmed the rest of the day. Man, this is the most satisfying thing ever. On day 81, I went to the dungeon and do some good old trading. Checked on the villager and his trade was now mending. Are you kidding me? All that work I had to do to get a mending trade and now it's just a... I did some trading and I turned 55 emeralds into 6 bookshelves. Kind of expensive, but I really don't care. I traded more sticks and I got 2 more. I spent the rest of the day chopping trees. Oh, I caught this guy sneaking around. On day 82, I went ahead and fed the animals. I love these guys, man. I went to go trade more sticks. Are you surprised? I made 67 emeralds just from sticks. I turned that into 7 more bookshelves, so I think we have enough now. I made the enchanting table and we have everything we need. So on day 83, I went to the nether to grab more crimson wood. After spending the day grabbing wood, I went back home and started working on the bunker. On day 84, I spent all day and night working on this area. Oh man, this is looking pretty sick. This is probably one of the coolest things I think I've done. On day 85, I spent most of the day finishing the bunker. I officially have level 30 enchants. Man, this place is sick. On day 86, I went and finally enchanted my diamond tools. I really got shitty enchants after all these days. I stripped my pickaxe just to lose the efficiency. My luck with the enchanting was trash, so I went to do some farming. We had some visitors, so I went to go talk to them. After having some fun, I continued farming. A full wheat field is so beautiful, man. On day 87, I needed to go do some trading, but first I had to get rid of Bad Omen. I got 57 emeralds and traded them for 4 mending books. I re-enchanted my pickaxe. I got what I started with in the beginning. This game really doesn't like me. Is it because I put the villagers in a dungeon? On day 88, I went mining for iron for an anvil. I eventually found a cave. Look at all these guys. I see a mine shaft, but it was heavily guarded, so I left. I have a ton of iron, but just know I'll be back. On day 89, I woke up bright and early to make an anvil. I need to get some levels, so it's time to trade. I got a ton of emeralds. Eventually, I got sharpness 5 trade. I went back home and I can't make this up. I stripped my pickaxe and got the same thing. I gave up and just put mending on my shovel and axe. On day 90, I was determined to get fortune 3, so I got to farming. I expanded the chicken farm and fed the chickens. I went to trade and used all 16 emeralds for golden carrots. I grabbed a shield and spent the night defending the village. The skeleton had fire aspect and got me down to half a heart. That was pretty close. That would have been worse than my other videos. On day 91, I decided I was never doing that again. I spent the day farming and feeding the animals. Then this happened. Yeah, that's a mess, so I need to clean that up. On day 92, Project Eggshell has to happen. Most of them were gone now, so I went to go trade. I wasn't impressed with how much I got paid, so I went to go chop wood again. On day 93, I went to go trade sticks. I want to be at least level 35. I left the dungeon to feed the animals. I needed them levels. I chained a different pickaxe and got the same thing. This game must be broken. Instead of trying to enchant another pickaxe, I just combined the two and now have efficiency 5 and breaking 3. I went ahead and threw mending on that bad boy. On day 94, I needed to enchant my sword now. I went to the dungeon and do some trading. I went back home and fed the animals once again. These pillagers were trying to fight, so I gave them what they wanted. Now that I had Bad Omen again, I needed to drink some milk before things got crazy. By the end of the day, I hung the banner on my house to show the other pillagers that, if they try to raid me, they'll be delivered the same fate. On day 95, I felt the need to switch things up a little bit, so I went to the nether to trade with the piglins. This really turned into me mining for quartz, and I'm really glad I did. Eventually, I started to get too greedy, so I went back home before I lost everything. On day 96, I fed the chickens. I finally had enough levels to enchant my sword, and yeah, Looting 3, but Bane of Arthropods? Because of that, I can't put sharpness 5 on this. To end the day off, I did some farming and tree chopping. On day 97, I went to trade some sticks. At last, I got the sword, and it was well worth it. Could be better, but with the luck I currently have, I'll take it. On day 98, I've gotten what I needed, and now we're ready. We're gonna head to the mine shaft. Oh, hell no, I'm not risking it. Oh, baby, we found more diamonds. Yeah, I spent the rest of this day just mining ores, honestly. On day 99, I went to make a chill campsite by the house. I meant to do this a while back, but it was raining. But it's never too late, you know? Looks pretty decent, so I sat by the campfire reflecting on these 100 days, and at last, we're done. Day 100, we did it, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We survived 100 days in the taiga biome. There's still a lot left to get done in this world and many things I really want to do. So if this video gets 25 likes, I'll do another 100 days on this world. Make sure to subscribe to see the rest of the series as it gets released. And now, before we go, here's a sneak peek of the next episode. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.